You've got on the hat. Some monkeys wear hats. With those monkeys only, beat Monkey Land on easy. Okay, so there's only 4 monkeys with hats. That's a little bit on the weird side, I suppose. But today what we're going to do is get some, I don't know, man, what the heck are we going to do? I guess we're going to do a wizard start. We really can't do a sniper start. I guess we could, but it'd be a little bit funky, you know? I don't think I want to do that. So with that all being said, we're going to get this wizard all the way up to a lightning wizard. Woohoo! We like the lightning wizards, right? Honestly, this is going to be a pretty easy mission overall. I can't really see any sort of random issues happening to us. I was never one for hats. I was never a hat guy. And the reason why actually stemmed back all the way to when I was a kid, man. Oh my goodness, my brother. I know I've been talking about him a lot lately, but he's the reason why I do a lot of things that I do these days. I remember the only time that I wore a hat, that when I like actually wore hats, was during baseball. That was when I used to I think that was the only time where I actually like you're almost like forced to wear a hat. They were like, that's part of the freaking uniform. You know, you gotta wear this freaking hat. So I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense, man. I'll wear the hat for a little while. And then as soon as my brother saw me, he started calling me a dork and a loser and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, I must look terrible in a hat. And then when I looked at myself, I don't know if this was imaginary or if it was real or like what the deal was. I just didn't really like myself in a hat eventually. I was just like, I don't like myself in a hat. I think I looked funky. And the reason why stems from me having a small head. Yeah, so you guys probably have noticed. Actually, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I have a pretty small head. It's not tiny, it's not microscopic, it's not ridiculously terrible or anything like that, but it is a little bit on the small side. And I don't know, I guess back in the day I used to be like a little bit self-conscious about my small head, and I think it honestly has something to do with the fact that I didn't hit my growth spurt until I was older. I didn't hit my growth spurt until I was right around age like 13 or 14 or something like that. I know I was a late bloomer, man. Trust me, I was the most amazing bloomer you had ever seen. But yeah, no, I was a little bit of a late bloomer. In fact, I tell people all the time that I was about, man, I think it was like 4'8", 4'9" by the time I was like 13. And then by the time I started high school, I was like 5'1", so I was still really short at that point. But then freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I shot up. I went from 5'1" all the way to 5'10" within 4 years. So I grew 9 inches in like 4 years. It was very, very quickly. But I think because I grew so fast, my head was like a certain size, because your head mostly grows when you're a kid, you know? I mean, like your head doesn't grow much when you're an adult. I don't feel like it does, you know? Your brain's like fully sized, freaking age 16 or something like that. At least it looks like it is. So I feel like that is probably why I have a small head. It just makes sense. I don't know, maybe there should be some sort of studies, some weird sort of studies on that stuff. So we're going to get our sniper going, man. I am going to go for a 2-3 sniper. I just feel like it's a nice fancy little buddy for him to use. We got faster firing. I think I will go for night vision goggles as well, because we got those camos coming up. And look at this guy. Oh, I already have camera detection. Oh, look how sneaky I am. I do things without even knowing. So, yes, we're going to save up. We're going to get a 2-3 sniper eventually. But we don't really have any very, very hard rounds coming up. I mean, the hardest thing coming up is probably around 26 or 31 with those Regrow Zebras. But up to that point, man, we're going to be getting some hardcore bloonages in here. Hardcore! Ooh, I can already afford the .50, but I don't think I should do that. I really liked playing baseball. In fact, I don't really remember playing on that team, actually, because I was so young. I think that was the first sport that I ever played. My dad played baseball, and he wanted me to play baseball as well, but it just wasn't really my thing. I wasn't that good at it when I was younger. And then eventually, when I moved into my the house that I lived in, like, from when I was, like, 12 to 23, I met some friends, and they loved baseball. They were like, that was like their favorite sports that we used to always do. We used to hop in and just play some baseball together. And we made a bunch of fun, I think, really fun and cool games, actually, involving baseball with just a few people, too, because not that many people can, like, invent games like that. And that was what I thought was really, really fun. When I was a kid, with my friends, we used to make up all these different types of games. But for baseball, we basically just had a base. We, had had a bat, had a pitcher, and then we only had one outfielder. We used to play with 3 people, and basically all you did was you get a point for getting a single, you get a double for getting a double, you getting a triple for getting a triple, or I mean 3 points. What was it? Okay, let me restart. 1 point for a single, 2 points for a double, 3 points for a triple, and 5 points for a home run if you went all the way around. And we actually had like this like my deck was like the home run spot. It was really, really cool. We used to play with like rubber balls instead of tennis balls or baseballs or anything like that. We didn't go crazy, man. We wanted to catch these things with our hands. So we got tons of money over here. Oh my god, what are we going to get? I'm thinking let's go for something good against the Moabs. It's probably our biggest weakness. I mean, we are on easy, so the balloons are just going to kind of get taken care of, especially if we get something like this silly guy right here. Yes. Him right in the front, get Bernie stuff, and a bigger blast as well. I don't think I need any more cam detection, so we're going to hit him up to the left-sided border, which is a lot more fun, honestly. He's just more fun, but he's something you need to kind of grow into. I learned very slowly that the 3rd-tier mortar on the left side was actually a good tower. I always got to the right side, and I slowly learned, like I said, he's not that bad. He's, you know, he's actually a viable way to pop a lot of these balloons. That was one of my most favorite games. Another one was on the trampoline. Oh, we made so many games up on the trampoline. Like, I don't know if we actually made them up, but we called it Poison Ball. I don't know if people have ever played that before. Basically, you put a bunch of balls on the trampoline, and they're poison. If they touch you at all, you die, you lose. Or we played you get strikes or you get outs or whatever. If you get 3 outs, you have to get out of the trampoline, and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go for some more Dartling guns in here, man. Just go boo, boo, boo. And we're going to get another one of these guys. Again, just, yeah, we got a bunch of money over here. Let's use it up. That was a really, really fun one. And, I was boss at Poison Ball. I'm not going to lie, guys. I was the best Poison Ball player in the entire history of the world. What you got to do is you don't just stay away from the balls. That's the loser thing to do. What you got to do is you got to get really close to the balls, and you can like jump in front of the ball, and it'll like shoot across the trampoline into somebody's face and hit them out. Especially when there's multiple balls all over the place, and you have like one shooting at them in the face, one shooting at them on the ground. The only thing is, if you're not sneaky enough, man, if you don't do a good enough job, you end up just literally getting hit in the leg right where you were trying to bounce it into somebody. Highly recommend if you have a trampoline and you have friends. It's another key fat part to Poison Ball. You need to have some friends. Yeah, go play it. It's fun. Even if you're an adult, like I would love to play Poison Ball today. I would not mind that thing at all. Okay, here we go. Round 49. Probably one of the most difficult rounds in the world, but we just annihilated it. Oh my god, we could get a big. Oh my god, we could get a big one too if we really wanted. So yeah, obviously we did a really good job on this mission. It was pretty easy though, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty easy mission. We deserved the whatever measly $50 or whatever that we got for it though. But that's what I'm gonna have you guys today, so if you enjoyed this mission, press like for me, I'd really appreciate that, and have a super duper delicious day.